welcome to the Morning Coffee Show. I'm Prince Hakeem, and today I have a really great exclusive show. I have my man Jamal Johnson here with us today, and he has a movie coming out called Midtown. Very interesting, unique movie, and we'll be talking to him and his cast members and executive producers as well regarding the movie and when it's going to come out. I appreciate you coming on today, sir.
No, thank you.
Absolutely, man. So you did it again.
Yeah.
You did it again.
Second IMAX movie. I'm happy. And I'm happy to be here again talking with you. We did the radio interview last time.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful to be in your presence again, sir.
No, the pleasure's all mine, man. You are a very talented, brilliant person, man. And I always admire your work. I know you work with Bezo as well, Page Turner.
Yes, Page Turner, one of our sponsors for the event.
Yeah,
yes.
Nice, man. Well, Page Turner actually shoots our show.
Yes.
Look at that. You already know what time it is. It's family time, man. So, we're going to get into what the actual movie's about when we talk to the characters, but what can people expect when they actually go see Midtown?
Midtown is a movie about the shutdown of the only compound in the world that handles executions of kids and teens. So anybody that's under the age of 18 that is convicted of a crime and is going to be executed, they come to this compound in Midtown, Virginia. So we practice lethal injections, beheadings, gas chambers, shooting range, all forms of execution based on the region that your crime was done in and convicted in.
Wow. That's some heavy stuff.
It is. It's a little bit crazy. This movie is not for the weak stomach. It's definitely not for anybody under the age of 18 because it's got graphic language, strong sexual content, nudity. If it was rated, it'd be rated NC-17. That's a notch above R. So.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it's NC-17, definitely. We wear that badge proudly. So.
Wow, proudly
yes.
being highly rated.
Yes.
Hey man, you gotta press the envelope a little bit. Grab some attention on it. So we can actually catch this movie in IMAX. Is that right?
Yes. The Virginia Air and Space Center IMAX, October 26th, 2019, of course. And the doors open at 6:30 p.m. That's all going to be the all red carpet stuff. But the movie starts at 7 p.m. and will run for about 2 hours. So October 26th, Virginia Air and Space Center, IMAX.
There you go. Well, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go right into the actual show. Stick around.
Straight line.
Welcome, temporary residents. You are now entering Midtown Terminational Compound, or Death Row for Kids.
The FBI, DEA, and IRS have launched an investigation that looks like it's going to lead to its permanent closure.
You all will be executed by a set date or right at the age of 18. I mean, shit, if we kept you past 18, will we just be a normal facility for normal criminals? But no. You are all special, which requires a special compound.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Doing good.
Well, welcome to the Morning Coffee Show. I'm so glad you guys were able to make it. You are in a movie, right? Midtown, right?
Yes.
Pretty awesome. I saw the trailer, so I'm excited to see the full movie itself. And each and every one of you actually played a part in it, which is an Emmy. Is that right?
Correct.
Wow. That had to be kind of some heavy stuff, right? So I want to ask each one of you your name, and then if you have a character name or what you actually did in the movie, to tell me a little bit about it, and we'll dive into it. So we'll start with you in the back.
Okay, so my name is Alyssa Boffman, and I played Stickers and one of the inmates, and she basically just got in trouble.
Yeah? As kids normally do, right?
Yeah.
That's okay. All right, and what about you?
My name is Quentin Garris, and I play Andre Carter. He's a character I played at a previous Jamal project called the MTC, and I'm playing him again after 5 years. And he was always a troubled person. Now he's older and he's worse, and he gets sent to Midtown, and he's not ready for what's about to happen.
Wow. Okay. All right. And you?
I'm Mia Goodman, and I play a character named Tara, and she has multiple personalities. Yeah, and she's a very, very bad person. she likes fire. She likes to explode things apparently. And yeah.
Oh wow. Gotta keep an eye on her. And what about you?
My name is Comfort Akpan. I'm one of the inmates. This was kind of like my first time doing the movie, so it was really interesting. It was really interesting playing the character that I got to play.
Okay, all right. And what about you, young man?
My name is Michael Akman. I played Kelly. You know, he was the inmate who kind of started the whole thing with the investigation, you know, getting killed and everything.
Okay. And what about you?
My name is Jamal Little. My character is Casey Krabs. He's sorry for a murder that he did off of emotion.
Huh. Yeah. Interesting. The interesting part when I saw the actual trailer itself is the climate that we're in right now in the world. Central Park 5, that movie came out, and it's kind of, when I saw what the young people are as inmates, it kind of put me in that same place. There's something that's actually going on in our community. As you was playing the parts, tell me a little bit how you felt, what you had to do to get into that actual character. Is it something that you pulled from personally, or something that you just kind of had to dive into? What about you? Because you say you kind of started the whole thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like my character was just a natural thing, you know? You don't really have to say much or do much, you know, to be beginning of something. You just kind of go along with it and enjoy the ride. But honestly, I felt like as my character, it was just easy to connect with, because, you know, you always got to be that person who gets to start it, and I feel like I would like to do that. You know?
Yeah. Okay. All right. What about you?
Well, my character, he actually is a pretty good person, but out of emotion and everything, he just snapped. The way that I portrayed him, I feel it was a good thing.
Yeah. Okay. And what about you?
My character, there's so much that you can say about him.
Yeah.
He, like I already said before, he was always troubled as a little boy, and I had to look at the previous work that I did with Jamal in the MTC to see exactly how I can channel that again, but older. And I had to try to get that mindset back into it, and I try to have a little bit more of a how people would act now, because people kind of act differently when they were younger. So I incorporated what I did then and modified it. And I think it turned out pretty good. I think it showed how much he evolved from when I started playing that character to now.
Yeah. Okay. But it's different for you because you actually played the character, so it's already familiar with the part. I mean, which is fine. You know, I think that actually kind of helps you see the character grow in the movie. It's a beautiful thing. So good. Can't wait to see it. What about you?
My character is obviously very crazy, and I didn't know how to play it at first. It was very difficult, and I had to look up past backstories because of what she did, and I had to get into that mindset. And overall it was very more, like I said, difficult and kind of weird to play because I've never had that experience before.
Right.
So
So you never set anything on fire before?
No.
Oh, that's how to make sure. Yeah, that's not in your background. Good job. Okay. Well, I'm very interested to see your character. You know, people see children that have those type of issues as problematic, but it's a little bit deeper than I would imagine. So I'm very interested to see that. And what about you?
I mean, my character kind of did something, but didn't, I guess. And so it's just really weird being in that mindset of being a criminal. And it's really different of being in mindset where you're not in. So, yeah.
I gotcha. Okay. And you?
Well, my character, when she did what she did, she had her family in mind and she was just trying to help her family out, but it didn't go very well for her. So I basically just imagined myself in the position of her.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think overall, I mean, the whole theory of the movie is about children going to death row, right? And being murdered by the age of 18. I think it kind of hit really home, really hard for me because of things that's going on. Do you follow the news at all?
Yeah.
Know what's been going on? A little bit?
Yeah.
So do you feel that what's going on in the movie is kind of portraying real life, in a sense. And being as young as you are, how do you feel about that now? Just in a whole sense of actual real life events that's been going on lately.
I mean, I feel like it's an allegory. Like, you know, like a book, like, you know, that we read in high school, Animal Farm. It was like the McCarter area of, like, you know, the 60s and 70s where, you know, a lot of people were getting accused of being communists and stuff like that. But now it's like, you know, as kids, you know, we run around, we get in trouble, but just because we're kids, we get accused of doing bad things, you know, and, you know, the consequences are, you know, not as major, but when you look really into it, you know, like kids getting shot like Trayvon Martin and all that, you know, it really gets you thinking about the whole thing in Midtown.
Right.
You see black kids and white kids or whatever going down the streets, they could do one thing and then next thing you know, their life is done. So,
Right.
I mean, that's what I feel like it's about, you know.
Okay.
It's just a situation we're in, the era we're in, just to give awareness to everybody, so.
Yeah. I think in the movie too, as being characters and inmates, they mixed it, right? So it's not just all black people get in trouble. You have a mixture of white and black inside the movie. So it shows that, you know, when you get targeted, it's not always just one thing. And I really appreciate that about the movie as well.
Yeah,
So,
Crazy doesn't have a button.
That's right. But I'm very, very, very excited to see the movie. I'm not going to ask you any spoiler alerts or anything like that. But when does the movie come out?
October 26th.
Yeah.
26.
26, 27.
I was told 26.
In October. All right. No, I'm very, very excited to actually see the movie and see how well you all done. It's amazing seeing that young people like yourself are playing parts like this. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
This is Detective Brewer with Midtown Police Department. I need to talk to you about your dealings with Midtown Compound.
When we dig this body up, it should have no head. And if it does have a head, then we got him.
We need to get everything we can to tear this place down to the ground. The people at the top need us to get everything we can, so when the hammer comes down, we all look good.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank y'all for coming on the Morning Coffee Show. I'm super excited to have you all on. We just finished talking to the inmates that was on the show, and now we have the law enforcement, right? So is it law enforcement mixed with?
It's a mix of all law enforcement.
Okay, good. That's what I wanted to know. But you know, I want to go around and get your names, get your character names, and we'll find out a little bit about the characters as well. So we'll start with you.
My name is Deborah Boffman, and I actually play Detective Boffman. And so I'm a detective, and I'm doing some investigation for the compound to find out really what's going on and where I could get to find some of these people that have been here.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
Hi, my name is Yasmin Goodman, and I play FBI Goodman. And doing the same thing as all the law enforcement that are trying to investigate to get the compound shut down because there's some crazy stuff going on.
So you're working against the compound?
Yes.
Interesting. And you, young lady?
Norma Jeffries, and I play an undercover guard, Officer Jeffries, who is a compound to try and get information and details on trying to shut it down.
Okay, all right. And you, sir?
Yes, I'm Alan Brewer. I play Detective Brewer, and I also am asking the questions, what's going on, let's shut this down. What's going on with this compound? We've been hearing a lot about how we shape things up in a good way.
Yeah, okay. And you, sir?
Yes, my name is Lawrence Akban, and I play Detective Roland. So my role was actually do investigation about a missing body within the prison, and then also do investigation with the family of the missing person, find out if they know anything about the body.
Gotcha. Now watching the trailer, it put me in a really crazy mindset. One, because of the type of movie it is, the sensitivity around children, and execution. You know, having a compound like Midtown, where they were doing lethal injection, decapitation. I'm like, this is, and firing squad, is that right? Those are some really like rough ways to take somebody out.
Especially kids.
Especially children. So how did you feel like playing a role as law enforcement, if you're looking into it to kind of shut it down, if you're actually out there trying to get them? How did you feel like this is children that we're talking about? It's not adults that are committing these heinous crimes. These are like children. That could be either your children, your girl. How do you feel?
Well, for me, my everyday job is at an elementary school. So seeing, my babies come in every day, and to do a movie like this, to see, there are sinister minds out there, where they could get in trouble, and not that they would be beheaded or anything like that, but they could face a whole lot of turmoil.
Yeah.
The world is crazy, and what you hear on the news is mainly children.
Yeah.
They're children.
Yeah. Wow.
We were the same way when we saw the trailer. When we saw the trailer and the way he put it all together, we acted the same way. It's like, whoa, this is like coming to life.
Yeah.
To think about the children, yeah, they are kids that do terrible things and should get punished with, but not the way the movie portrayed.
Yeah.
They should. It was
Yeah.
bad.
Definitely not decapitation.
It's almost barbaric, it's almost barbaric as to, the way that they're handling, euthanizing pretty much these people.
Yeah. So how did you get into character? Like, transitioning to either law enforcement as being detectives or the ones that are actually locking them up. How did you get into character?
I think for myself, I've always been wanting to help people. So it was a little bit easier for me to get into character, knowing that I would be out there, helping people figure out where their loved ones have gone and where they, ultimately have laid to rest, per se.
Yeah.
Yeah, my personal self, I kind of felt more personal for me because of, knowing that I have a son that is actually could be in a prison. I'm not saying he's a bad, boy, but anything can happen. He can be in there, and things can happen to him. So I really felt like I gotta put a lot of emotion into this and just make the character be real. So just reading the story and seeing how everything played out, was just kind of took me back and just made me say, okay, this was mine. What would I really do? So that's exactly how I just put a whole lot of emotions into it.
Yeah. I have a son too, and when I watch the movie, I'm thinking as he grows, you never know what happens in the next 10 years, the next 8 years, and what that realistic view could be about. I was even thinking that the mind of the writer, like where did we come up with the concept of executing kids and having a prison or a camp or something like that doesn't, but you never know. I mean, we're living in a really weird time where these things aren't that far off. So very interesting, very interesting. So when you were actually shooting the movie, was it like a thing where did you get bits and pieces at a time, or did you know the full scope of the actual movie?
We kind of knew. We knew some of it changed as it went along, and we knew kind of the storyline.
Yeah, we knew that, but not being there for every scene, because you're just in the scenes that you're in.
Right.
Yeah.
So, hey, I'm dying to see the movie.
That's exactly why I asked. Because I know a lot of times you don't get the full scope of the actual movie.
No.
So when you're sitting watching the actual movie, you're like, I'm watching it just like you are.
Yeah.
So I only know my part, and that's it.
Yes.
And so when you watch the movie, it all comes together, and like you say, watching the show, like, wow, this is amazing.
Yes.
I didn't realize it's going to be, it's going to look like this. So
I've seen Jamal's work before. I've never acted before, so this is my first time ever. Please excuse me. But I've seen his work, and I know how good he is at what he does. So when he approached me to be in the movie, I was like, are you serious? But then I was like, yes! I'll do it, you know.
Amen.
So this is my first time, but it's kind of out there.
Yeah.
I'm really waiting to see.
I would say working with him has been a great, eye-opener for me. He brings the best out of you, and he makes you feel so at ease. At first, I was nervous into it. But you sit in front of camera and he starts shooting. Sometimes you miss the words, but he always helps you and get you in line. So he's been a great producer, and I will do it again with him if ever it comes. The opportunity comes up again.
It was difficult for him because he didn't like cursing.
We all had to learn each other.
Hey, sometimes
say it like this. Say it like
certain situation calls for a curse word.
Oh, yes.
What would you say?
I'm just saying like that to piggyback off what he was saying. We came in this pretty much fresh and not knowing what to expect. But each scene, each different location and stuff like that, we were kind of amazed and like, how do we put ourselves in here? Where are we here? And I think that it was very raw and organic, where everybody was just as surprised, but very engaging and comforting with each other, and that helped it have a more authentic feel, especially with Jamal's enthusiasm too. Definitely, we're all
a little family.
Yeah, we are.
We're Midtown.
I was telling him, that's why he came like, I missed you, I missed everybody. It was so much fun.
That's really good. As a cast, you should have that camaraderie where it feels like a family. It makes the work day go much better.
It does.
That's amazing.
I can't wait to see everyone.
Hey, that's good. It's better than walking in and saying, it's you. You want to at least walk in and feel like, hey man, I missed you guys. Good to see you. When to catch up, that's wonderful. But I gotta ask you before I let you go, how do you feel about the movie itself, and then what's really going on in the climate of what's going on right now? In the news, we see a lot of, different things pertaining to youth. A lot of, murders and police brutality. How do you feel that this movie is going to be taken and portrayed once people see it, based on what's going on in the climate right now?
I hope a lot of teens get scared. If they do see it, because I'm sure some of them will, I hope it hits more to reality than not being real. That if there was to do something wrong out there or continue doing what they're doing, this might be them. There might be some place that will be taken and nobody's going to have mercy on them.
Yeah, they're not going to care that they're children.
Yeah.
And then too, because I've had friends that have lost grandsons and uncles or brothers or whatever to the violence that's right here in Hampton Roads and Hampton and Newport News. So I would like to see a lot more at-home nurturing and family things to do. Hold your children close. Start with them young and teaching them, the rights and wrongs, and don't just. Years ago we could just go outside. Your parents would go outside, don't come in till whatever. Nowadays you can't even sit on your porch.
Yeah.
So you need to. I think it needs to really start from home.
Yeah, I think it's really sad that we have to have these conversations with our children when you have them go out, have them go outside and play, how to conduct themselves with law enforcement if they ever are confronted by law enforcement. To your point, when we're younger, just go out and play. We'll see you before the street light comes on.
That generation that era is gone. It's gone.
So there's a few things to contend with.
I was thinking that the violence begets more violence, whether it be from the policing, whether it be from military, whether it be from gang. It's all perpetual violence in one shape or fashion, and we're not really talking about that. We're always going to funerals, or we're always hearing about something in the news. It's not that we're really connecting with each other on a human level to even embrace and appreciate and love one another. So it's
the love.
who is responsible for condemning the people committing the acts and who was checking the people before they get to do the acts. There's no median really. It's just going really fast. So I think with this film, I think it should be able to open some people's eyes, but like young people are being affected. Yes, this is a movie, but it's mimicking life and what we're already going through. And it could be the worst part of our life that we haven't even seen, that it's going on our nose that we're not even noticing. So I think that that is really important as far as where we can be and where we should be. So we have a lot of time in between that, and I think that this will be a really good eye-opener for the kids as well as grown-ups.
Great way to put it. Great way to put it. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. I can't wait to see the movie.
Thanks.
I can't wait to see your cursing scene. Because
You will laugh, I guarantee that.
I hope it's not awkward because when people don't want to curse, they have to curse. Did you have to rehearse it? Did you look yourself in the mirror?
You have
We had to tell them how to curse.
I had to like
He was cursing, smiling.
And then I curse and smile. They was like, you don't smile.
Yeah, you don't curse when you smile. You just don't. It's weird. Like you might kill somebody. But I can't wait to see each and every one of you in the movie in October. I definitely will be there to make sure I support it.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you again for having us.
Absolutely.
Inmates, welcome to Midtown. Bring your little bitch asses over here. Let's go. Single file.
Our methods of execution include lethal injection, beheading, electric chair, firing range, and gas chamber.
Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you guys for coming in. Y'all look like guards. Yeah, you have the guard stature, I guess is what it is. So, you guys actually are playing parts in the movie as guards of the inmates, right?
Right.
Interesting. This is going to be very interesting. Because I got the perspective of the other characters, and I guess in this part, you're part of the darker part of the movie. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go around and get each and every one of your names and your characters in as well. Okay?
I'm Mike Payne. My guard name is Smith. I'm Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith. Okay.
I'm Antonio Wallace, and my guard name is Wallace.
Wallace. Okay. All right.
Larry Carroll, and my name is Mr. Carroll. Go Carroll.
Okay.
I'm the warden, Jamal Johnson, but I'm just the warden. I don't even have a last name, I'm just the warden.
The warden.
So, yeah, the warden.
But you're the guy behind the whole thing, so we'll talk about that too. I like how you try to play it. I'm just a warden. We're all here because of me. Like, it's cool.
Terrence Williams. I'm Officer Henderson.
Officer Henderson. How did you end up getting the opposite name of your actual last name?
I don't know. It just worked out like that. It might have been the nerves or something.
Like, you're going to be Henderson.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. So with each and every one of your characters, obviously you had to get into a certain headspace to play that part because you're guarding children. It's not adults. There are young adults, young kids that I guess committed a crime. And did you guys have to carry out the executions too?
Yes.
Yeah. Man.
Yes.
Y'all like heartless people. Children, you're shooting, cutting off heads, and I saw a part in the trailer where they said if we find the body and it doesn't have a head, right? And that hit me because I'm like, we're looking for a headless body in the movie, like. What kind of craziness is going on? But it gives you like a feeling of, hey, it's dark, but it's telling, it has a point to it. So as you get into character, you had to play a guard. What did you have to do to get into that particular mode?
Well, actually, I play a guard. Well, I'm a guard in real life. You know what I'm saying? So I work at a club, so I got to deal with adults. So it was actually fun to actually. Needless to say, manhandle kids. You know what I'm saying? Because I actually say that at work, so I get to babysit these kids. You know what I'm saying? So, and then actually after to do it, it was actually fun. You know what I'm saying, in a way. Because now I get to coach people how to, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to put them out instead of just actually going, just do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, so.
Okay. Hey, it was a little weird. You said it's fun to manhandle kids, but
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. It's really be able to. I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, adults can be kids sometimes. And I'm with you. God bless you being a guard in the club, man. That's a task.
Oh yeah.
See, first, now I want to interject because he gave me an apology already for cussing my daughter out on the stage. So now he's telling me he had fun doing it. Now I gotta take the apology. You gotta take it back. You gotta take the apology back. He done cussed her out.
I got a daughter the same age, so it was fun, but it was like, oh my God, I gotta cuss this little girl out. It's crazy because after that, I went home and apologized to my daughter. She was
you got to. Every child you come across, you gotta say, I'm sorry. Yeah. No, it's cool. So your daughter was in the movie?
Yes, yes.
And how did you feel as a parent watching that?
It was cool because she's really shy, you know, so it was really cool to see her kind of open up and, you know, try to have it. She kicked me off set, you know, which was crazy. She kicked me off set. She said I made her nervous. So, yeah, imagine that. Your daughter kicked you off set.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it happened. So she did a good job after that, though.
Daughters have a lot of power.
They do. They do.
I don't have any, but
it's a rough spot.
Yeah. So what's your character? What did you have to do to get into that mindset?
Oh, well, I play... It feels like I play two characters because I'm a really straight-laced guy at work. Outside of work, I'm a complete wild man. You know, I got all these different random things going on, and yeah, so I get to play kind of almost like two roles. You know, I'm real straight-laced and just you would never expect anything from me at work. I get outside of work and I'm out my mind. So yeah, it took a minute to kind of but it was fun. You know, it was fun to get into it. You know, and just figure it out. And,
so you enjoy cussing kids out too?
See, I didn't get to cuss none out. I didn't get the pleasure, as he said. I didn't get to do that, but
all the parents are watching. It's like, oh
right,
my God.
yeah.
Like, you cannot babysit my kid.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Okay. What about you?
Well, my character was pretty easy. I'm doing some underhanded things because I'm scared of this guy right here. He forced me to do things, and in the process of doing those things, I also try to do some selfish stuff. So it was pretty fun. It was easy.
Ah, interesting. You gonna blame it all on him?
Yeah,
that's cool. No, that's fine. Somebody has to get blamed. That's right.
He's the warden. So
I heard that bus coming a mile away. Love it.
Sure. Well, for me, I actually wasn't guarding any of the kids, so my part was a little different. I had an affair with one of the guards there, and I got killed gorgeously. So it was interesting to see how everything came together with the makeup and the different scenes shooting that. So that's pretty interesting for me.
So they killed you all?
Killed me.
Was it early in the movie?
Quick.
Don't tell me. Somebody had to die. It had to be you. That's all good. And the man of the hour, Jamal. So I mean, obviously you knew the character because it's your show. So how did you prepare to become the warden?
With the warden role does a lot of underhanded isn't the word for what he does. I took my favorite wardens from shows that I was looking at, some jail shows, Oz, Wentworth, and I took their asshole level up to 10, their griminess level. There was long hours that I would sit and think because of the stuff that he was doing, the warden was doing, in the compound. Because the thing about this compound is it's getting shut down for different violations, just stuff that you're not supposed to be doing when you're, offered that type of, power to execute people. This compound is doing things that you're not supposed to be doing. And so what I had to do was just think and practice in my head and really go to some dark places to say, okay, how do I pull this off? How do I be, the worst warden that you can ever be in a prison and do the things that, because I don't know how people that can do the stuff that the warden in this movie does, how they just do that. And So I had to watch videos, you know, I had to study like serial killers. So I really kind of went in on, you know, how I took this role, and it took months to, like, it wasn't something that I did like just a few days. It took a long time for me to get right with what I had to do with it. So yeah, it was a process. It wasn't easy.
I can imagine, you know, having like no conscience at all and having to get to that role. That's kind of like a Joker type of mentality in the Batman. Like you have to get into a really dark place.
Yeah.
Did you find yourself getting stuck there? Did you go home and carry the warden home?
Well, see, the thing is, I did all this at home. So all this is.
It's just didn't
when I'm out shooting other scenes, like. It doesn't matter, like this project right now is the only thing that I'm eating, breathing, and sleeping right now. So I'm out filming a scene right now. I'm thinking on how can I improve the edit that I have now, and then what I'm gonna do with the scenes that I have now, and how that changes the dynamic of everything else that happens in the story and everything. So
What made you come up with the concept of the movie?
I wanted to do a TV show. See, the thing about Midtown, before Midtown was a movie, it was a TV show. And what I did, I sat out and wrote 30 episodes. And these 30 episodes were supposed to be broken up into 3 seasons. 3 seasons, 10 episodes apiece. We started doing production on the TV show version of it. And it was just something that wasn't going to happen. So what I did, I took all 30 episodes, compressed it into a 2-hour movie, and just started chipping away. And we started in January, and even right now we're still filming little bits and pieces for it. But Midtown has been something in my head for about 3 or 4 years, and I've just been kind of like taking Lego pieces from this part, putting it here, and then last year is when I started actually like writing out, and it took me probably about 4 months to write all 30 episodes out because I had been thinking on it so long. I already had it in my head. So.
Yeah. What kind of message are you trying to give in that movie?
When I first started this, I didn't have a message. I just wanted to make this crazy movie that, you know, would look, you know, that would follow in the vein of The Wire, you know, some of my other favorite shows. Wire's the top thing. You know, stuff like Sons of Anarchy. I wanted to take like the best of like these shows and put it together like that. So,
Well, I mean, it's kind of ironic how things are going on now, and we see a lot of it in the news and on the internet, and you know, people are even streaming the stuff live of the things that's been going on in the community and abroad. So it kind of comes together. Actually, the message is there, obviously, because we've been dealing with these social issues.
Oh, and I'm sorry. I mean, I was going to say, well, kind of like the answer that I didn't have a message for anybody. I just wanted to make this crazy movie, but you know, now it's becoming a thing where you know, people think Midtown is like real, and so maybe that can, you know, it just hit me. Somebody gave me an idea. Why don't you start telling people Midtown is a real place for these kids and teens killing people out here, and maybe that'll curb the violence or whatever. So now that's what I want to do. And then just to be, you know, frank, like Blair Witch marketing strategy. Their strategy was to put a documentary on TV about the Burkittsville witch, which is the Blair Witch, quote unquote. And the way that they marketed it made it look 110% real. So that's the kind of strategy that we're going to go with this movie. As far as I'm concerned, Midtown is a real place in Midtown, Virginia. And if you're a kid that wants to pick up a gun and kill somebody, then there's a cold place in hell for you in Midtown. And fuck you up.
I think you like this a little bit like him. I think you enjoy this with it.
I was more happy about getting the process done because, like, it was work to get it done. The story was just so big and crazy that it was a thing where I was always constantly worried that, you know, what's going to happen is, you know, this actor not going to be able to, you know, is just not going to want to finish. You know, I was always constantly worried, ooh, this is a crazy story. Am I going to lose somebody midway? And that has happened, you know, so we can continue and get the story done, you know, the right way. And luckily with the cast that we have, outperformed ain't a word. I wish I could make up a word that can say outperformed to help get this project done.
Outstanding. I can't wait to see it. So real quick, the social issues that we're dealing with right now, we see it, like I said, on the news, internet, live feeds, YouTube. How do you guys feel about that? I mean, shooting this type of movie, playing a guard that has to kind of rough up the kids and, carry out executions. Do you think that where we are in the social climate, this is something we may be heading towards?
We're already locking kids up in cages, at the border now. So what I've thought of is here already. It's just, we're probably not killing them out in the open right now. They're dying by accident and stuff like that. But I mean, yes, it's not far-fetched. It's probably already here and we don't even know it.
Yeah.
I think it kind of tells a story of already what's happened in the past. If you look at like George Stinney Jr., in North Carolina, I think it was North Carolina, I know it was a part of Carolina. He was 14 and he was put in the electric chair. And they used, I believe it was 2 stacks of Bibles for him to sit up to actually be able to, fit in the chair. Mm-hmm. So this has happened before, and they electrocuted him. So, and that was something that actually happened legally. Yeah. So when you have a movie such as this and it's happening, it's almost like, if you don't know your history, then you're destined to repeat it. So yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Well, I can't wait to see the movie. And you just, I can't wait to see it. Cursing the kid out. I can't wait. But no, thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Was that?
I can't even fuss my own kids up.
Yeah.
Well, he did a good job cussing on mine.
Yeah, we'll put this on you and send you home. Right. Now, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see it in October.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is it. Midtown Terminational Compound. Let's get their asses in the lockup right now. Let's go. Everybody make a right. The other right.
1.
Let's go.
I expect you to accept your punishment with grace and dignity.
There's definitely something wrong going up there, and that bitch needs to be shut down.
And 2, we are not the judge or the jury, only the executioner.
So you just decided to sit in for the rest of the show, right?
Yeah.
That's okay. It's all good. I see some familiar faces. Hello. So we're going to go around and get each and every one of your names and your character names, and we'll talk about the movie a little bit.
I'm Quentin Garris, and I'm one of the executive producers of the movie.
Latasha Akpan, I play Mrs. Kelly, the mom.
My name is Deshaun Tucker Bailey, and I'm an executive producer of the film.
I'm Michelle Bishop of Michelle Cosmetics. I helped out with visual effects, not my makeup, and I'm playing Miss Anderson, the teacher.
All right.
And Jamal Johnson, I'm the creator.
That's right. And the warden.
That's
right. Can't forget the warden. I know. I feel like the warden's gonna be my favorite character in the movie.
I hope so. I think you might hate him actually.
Because I kind of like the asshole level people, so like the warden's gonna be one of my favorite characters in the movie. So awesome. Well, thank you all, like I said again, for coming in. I want to talk about each and every one of your characters. I want to talk about yours, directly because when I watched the actual trailer, it hit me when he says, "I just want to know where my son's buried." That hit. I almost cried just a little bit. Don't tell nobody that. I just want to stay between us because I have a son, and I'm thinking to myself, if something happened to my son, one, I probably hit the button. You know the button I'm talking about, right? But then I at least want to know, right? Where is the son? And you played that part so well. I'm like, is this a real mom that she's really trying to find her kid? It was really interesting to see that. So you did a really great job with that. That kind of hit home. How did that feel doing that part?
Like you said, it hit home because my son was the one who died, who I was trying to actually get the body from. So he played that character, and with the climate of how the world is today, as a African American mom with an African American son, it's very. It was almost debilitating, the character, because when you send your child out in the world, you pray that they come back whole. And they come back to you, even if something happened, not to get the body of your child, not to be able to have that closure, was a little devastating. So it did hit home.
Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that had to hit hard. It's your actual son.
Exactly.
Did you hug him a lot afterwards?
I can't remember.
That's the things you should probably know. I hugged him, kissed him, made him a cake.
I do it regardless.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it increased after I did my part or not.
All good.
Yeah.
Well, being a part of this film, I always enjoy being a part of one of Jamal's films, and I'm almost on all his projects, and it's just being in this one, I feel like his stuff, he always wants to take it to the extreme, but sometimes the extreme is realistic. That's one of the reasons why I always like it. And just when you think that it can't get any crazier, Jamal hits you with the, but wait, there's more.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, good Lord. All right, man. So what else we got? Like, because when he pitched this to me, he was like, yo, I want to make a movie like Oz, but for kids. It was a TV show. It was like a TV show, like Oz for kids. And I'm just like, am I gonna get raped? Like, he was like,
that's a good question.
He was like, yo, I'll think about it. No, it's not something I want you to think about. But Jamal's always trying to test the boundaries. Like, he's the type of dude that he always says how he loves how when directors like go there, he's always that director that's like, yo, I went there, yo. Who's gonna check me, yo? Who's next? Who's next?
Yeah.
And like, I'm just up here like, yeah, he did it. So he can't say he didn't do it.
Did you get raped in the movie?
No.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Thank God.
No, you said it. That's the most interesting question to ask somebody. Like, hey man, what you raped in the movie? Like, so you probably would need to know.
The way Jamal does things, it's like, if I wouldn't have known until like the minute the guy steps in here and he's like, all right, so this is the guy that's gonna do it. Do what? Like,
I'm in with a leather mask.
Yeah, look, he'll do something sick. Like, I'll be like, what am I getting shanked? Yeah, you're definitely getting shanked. I'm like,
you sound just.
I think that's a valid question to ask when somebody compared the show to Oz. Now, I knew immediately on the show was not the most famous guy. I can
like that was like, cause that's the way he said it, and I'm just like, oh man, like each time I'm waiting for the next film, like I'm like someone's gonna get like their toe like eaten slowly, and they're gonna look him in the eye or some mess, and I'll be like, all right, man, just give me my role, like,
and you'll do it. So, we get it. You're down for anything.
Except rape.
Unless you didn't know about it. I want you, man.
Oh God.
No, we know. You got it, Jamal. You check that. All right. No, you gotta check it off your list. You might actually make one roll for that.
I know, bro. Please. I'm not talking to her.
Miss Anderson. She's an art teacher, and she's conducting a lesson, and little girl, Mike's daughter, is in detention with me. So I'm trying to talk to her about her behavior, and if things just go left from there. Yeah.
She spazzed out on you? A little bit. Oh, we don't give it all.
Yeah, she spazzed out.
Did you hit her? Can you say that?
Can't say that.
Oh man. Nah, I need to watch it for real.
Yeah,
I gotta see you hit a kid. Like, this is.
But
it
was very interesting, but it was kind of easy because I was an educator before, so that scene or whatever, it came natural to me. And then I'm working with my work because sci-fi makeup artist, so it was like I knew different things that was going to happen, so it played out. Yeah.
Wow. So you have an issue with like kids, Jamal? Is that what
well, I know the crazy thing. My kid is in it too. So
does your kid get cursed out of hip?
He gets executed. I gotta execute him.
You kill your own son?
Got to. Yeah.
I have a 10-year-old. He cannot be in your movies.
Yeah.
He takes it there.
Yeah. It's I had to.
You sacrifice your own. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
Get what you have with it. At least you don't discriminate on who you Yeah, it's fine. I'm with you. I appreciate that actually. You're a side first, so like I want to know. No, I get it. I think it's really cool that you're trying to paint this picture, pushing the envelope is kind of where it's needed now, because people don't realize, they think it's all sunsets and roses, but it's not. You do have children are troubled. You do have the system is broken, and it can continue being broken even worse if we don't shed some light to it. I think this movie, like you said, you originally wasn't thinking about a message, but I think it is a deeper message in there that you probably didn't recognize.
Yeah.
Especially now, like I said, in the climate that we're in. Being the executive producer, how does that feel to you, that knowing that you're doing this type of thing?
Well, when Jamal first pitched it to me, I mean, I kind of loved the idea for real. I wanted to see how far he would go with it, And I didn't know what he said. It was kind of insane. Like every time we got onto the set, like it's just something completely different. It's just like you really don't know what you're getting into until you actually get into it with Jamal. And I mean, it was super fun the whole time, but yeah, pretty insane. Like every minute of it was pretty crazy.
Yeah. You guys have to be a little nuts to mess with this guy.
Tell me about it.
It's completely okay. But I think, and just from what I've seen so far, you have a really great group of people.
Yes.
I can tell the camaraderie. Professionalism is a huge thing I see now. And I can't wait to actually view the full movie. So
Thank you.
I don't want to ask too many more questions. I feel like I want to ask questions that may give away the movie. I really want to know if you hit that kid. Like, I really want to know. But you don't have to tell me.
I'm not gonna tell
like what level? Then don't worry about it. Did you choke on? Like, nah. I don't know. I mean, some kids do call out to get choked. But I don't condone it. Let me back it up. I don't condone hitting and choking kids. But you know how niggas.
That's how I got into character. I thought about the students that I used to teach,
Yeah.
what I wanted to do to them.
Yeah.
And it just rolled over to them.
Did you call me out my name?
Yeah, right.
Okay. I see where we are.
Right, so that's how.
Nah, I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Brad.
I can't wait to see the movie. Congratulations. I know shooting a movie is a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I've seen your work so far as all the makeup and stuff. Wow. So I don't even imagine that the murders look great.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like
that's
chop the head off here.
Yeah.
Somebody's been shot, stabbed, shanked,
And that was one thing.
possibly raped. I don't know, but
I wasn't gonna say I don't do that.
Getting up on it,
Whatever, I don't know.
That's fine.
That's fine.
You have limits?
Yeah.
As long as you know our limits, Jamal.
And
He
that was
doesn't do rape willingly. She doesn't do rape willingly. But not willingly, just if it happens. I'm really excited to see how the movie comes out, and we'll see you in October. All right, thank you so much.